We're standing on Mo Ark Road, looking to the north, and that's the property on the right. So as we look to the east, the truck is parked on the property, and we're going to take a look at it in just a second. But I wanted to start the video here on the west side. Currently there is not an approach installed. So to access the property, we just drove up a couple 100 yards through the gate and then down through the field. Ultimately, I'm sure you're gonna want to do your own thing. You can pick your spot, basically cut out 1 or 2 sections of pipe fencing and drop a culvert in, or maybe just some gravel, I'm not sure. If that pipe were cut out, I probably could have driven the truck in today. It would have been a little bumpy, but just wanted everybody to be aware of that. These are brand new, so you're going to want to do an approach at some point. Beautiful pipe fencing here on the west side. This hasn't been maintained for decades, but it was really well made. And if these cedar trees were cut out and this was painted, this would be gorgeous. I've seen a lot of people do white, black. I've seen silver and red as well. White is my favorite, personally. Not that anybody cares, but it is. Oh, this is gorgeous. Wow. It's the middle of winter, so really we don't have any leaves on the trees. It's more or less level, although it does have a kind of a gentle roll to it, which just makes it prettier in my book. We've got power directly on site. Phone is at the county road. Beautiful mature oak trees over there. Those are on the property. Wow, this is gorgeous. Obviously this has been hayed this year, so good quality hay field, good for pasture. Be one heck of a nice yard. I mean, this is gorgeous. I've got the interactive map with me today, so we can kind of tell what's what. Let's see here. And we can definitely email this to you if you get the app. It's called MapRight. And you can get the app on your phone or your tablet. You have to have, well, it helps to have cell service. So let's drive to the east and we'll take a look here. But yeah, those big, beautiful oaks are on the property. So many building sites. And now the entire east side of this borders the take line on Bull Shoals Lake, which is basically referred to as lakefront on Bull Shoals because it is a Corps of Engineers lake. So you can own up to the take line, and that's the case here. And it's actually got a good access point over the Corps of Engineer land to the water and to a place where I mean, you can put your boat in. Might have to do some kind of widening of the trail. I'm not sure about that, but it's just gorgeous and so hard to get anything on the take line. Slowly heading east. The property is quite wide here on the west side, and actually as we get back toward the east end, it widens out even more. So you've just got a lot of options. It's great to have a property this size with this much good quality open ground because it does give you a lot of options. If you want to be super close to the road, you can do that. If you want to be obviously toward the middle, and then for maximum privacy, you could come way back to the east side. But really you have enough space to build just about anywhere on this property, subject to the setbacks from the road and the boundary lines and all that. I'm not sure if we're going to run into a fence. This certainly is an old fence row. Let's see if we can get through here. I don't see a fence. Oh, I haven't been taking any pictures. Oh well. Okay. I I guess we'll just drive right through. Yep. I'm sure there was a fence at some point, but there's not anymore. Now, this just widened out once we got through that old fence row. And basically all this open land you see to the left here is part of the property. And if you look back, as we look to the east where those trees start, actually there is some timber on the east side on the property, but once you get into the trees just a little bit, you're going to see that take line. Now more toward the northeast side, there's more timber. So if you wanted to build in the big trees, I know that my fiance or whatnot is all about having big trees in the yard, although we don't. She wants to move somewhere and have big trees. So you actually have that option. And you'd have all this pasture land to play with. I mean, this is just incredibly beautiful out here, and it's the middle of winter. Once the leaves come out in springtime, this is going to be breathtaking. You're going to want to check out the drone video as well. We'll have that on the website. And I think that shows the property pretty well. This is just stunning out here. I mean, we've just never had anything like this. Never. We've been looking for years to find decent property that has frontage on the government take line at Bull Shoals. We have never found it until we got a hold of this project here. And we couldn't be more excited. This is unbelievable. This was everything we hoped for and more when we got these. To have this kind of pasture, to have the access to utilities like that, the paved road, it's like, what? Can this be real? Unbelievable property. I'm gonna get back, I'm not sure where I'm gonna go. We could check out that timber, or we could go check out the lake. Let's see. Let's just head back to the east a little bit. There are some big trees on this property. Wow. I can see some monster oaks from here. You're going to find hickory as well, probably some walnut. I see some cedars. Sycamore back there. Big sycamore, several big sycamores. But those oaks are enormous. Jeez. So the property line, actually, although there is a fence, the property line does go back into those trees from where we are. I can't tell exactly on the map, but a good 100 feet. Big, beautiful oaks. Once this property's been paid for in full, you can cut any of the timber you want on the property. Until then, you cannot do that. We do sometimes make exceptions if you're doing a building site or a trail. But other than that, you got to leave the timber until the property's been paid for in full. If you haven't already checked out the aerial on this property, you've got to see it. It's really cool. The way it's situated, the amount of timber, the amount of open ground. It's just a real rarity to get a property like this. I'm trying to figure out where I'm going to park because I want to walk back a little bit. We're just about by the, looks like, southeast side of the property. Hey, there's a woodpecker on that tree. He's pecking away too. That's pretty cool. I can hear him. I don't know if he's coming through in the audio. He's right there on that huge oak tree. I'm not trying to scare you, buddy, but I need to see the property. Wow, big, big oaks. That's 30 inches across. There's some really good timber on here, really good. That's close to 40 inches. That is a huge oak tree. Huge. I see many more of them as well. Now here's this fence. This is pretty close to the east boundary here. If we went to the north side a little more, it'd be the woods would be wider. There'd be more timber. But here on the southeast, it looks like just about 50 feet. And there you can see those white posts. Those indicate the government take line at Bull Shoals Lake. So if you line up with the posts, kind of comes through here. So actually, we could pretty much take the truck and drive from the property onto the take line, because a little bit of this pasture is on the take line, and we can get down to the, what am I trying to say? The cove, the state line cove that way, and I think we'll do that in a minute. Look at those oak trees. Holy cow. This is a really pretty sight right here. And right almost adjacent to the take line. I mean, you could hop on your four-wheeler and be at the water in a minute. I'm gonna head back to the truck, and then I'll do a separate video that we'll add on to the end here where we do go down down to the state line cove, and it is gorgeous. We'll check that out in a minute here. But I wanted to get one more view of the meadow, looking back to the west. Just an idyllic property. I think that's a word. It should be if it's not. Oh, there we go. Oh, that's breathtaking. We will probably never again have a property like this. We got into this project, so we have just a small handful of unique properties out here, and they're all different. They all have different stuff. This one has this huge wide open field in the back, the good access, the utilities. I mean, just stunning. I could see a mansion being built here, or I could see you know, a little hunting cabin. It's well suited for either. Great area. And in addition, obviously, to hunting your property, you've got this direct access into that government take line land, which is open for hunting. So you've actually got direct access into hundreds of acres of additional hunting land, which is pretty darn awesome. Check us out at InstantAcres.com. All right, we've just come across the east side onto the government take line, and we're gonna head down to the east and check out this lake. We've got this existing trail. I've driven this before, so I know you can take a vehicle all the way down here. Super cool. This is an insanely popular lake, Bull Shoals Lake, and it's getting more and more popular all the time. They have huge bass tournaments, all kinds of fishing and boating and different marinas and this and that all over the place. And where we're going to end up in just a minute is a cove called State Line Cove. Now this is, like I mentioned earlier, this is on the government take line at Bull Shoals Lake. But as you can see, in order to get a vehicle to this spot, you basically have to come through one of those properties that we have. So this makes it extremely private. I mean, you could get here on foot from a separate property, one way or the other. Old deer stand there. But as far as a truck or a car or whatnot, it's just that handful of property owners. And there's the water down there. You can see the pipe fencing. It actually goes through the woods. I was told that the guy 30 years ago or 20 years ago or whatever it was, the guy that had the buffalo ranch was kind of a prominent, the original guy that did it was kind of a prominent banker or some deal, and he was able to run that pipe fencing clear across the government land and just basically right into the water. And that way his buffalo couldn't get around and escape, because the buffalo would have to go into the water to actually get around, and they don't like to do that apparently. There's a boat out there. This is State Line Cove right here. Oh, this is gorgeous. Jeez. You can fish from right here. I've been meaning to put a boat in here. I've been told you can with no problem, that it stays solid. I just haven't tried it yet. But yeah, this is super solid here. And just looking by how this is situated, we've got a small boat back at the house. I could roll that directly in here. Not a problem. Jeez, that's pretty fantastic. I mean, even without this lake access, it's unbelievable. But when you throw this in the mix, this is kind of a once-in-a-lifetime deal. Definitely check out our website at InstantAcres.com. You can email us at sales@InstantAcres.com. You can call us in the office. You can stop on in if you want to. We'd love to talk to you. But ultimately, if you go to InstantAcres.com, if the property is shown as available there, then it is. If you don't see it on the website, then someone beat you to it.